boys and girls. Today we're going to read a nonfiction book about amazing bats, and we're going to learn facts about them. Everything that's in this book is true, and it was written by Seymour Simon. I love his nonfiction books. The pictures in here are photographs of real bats and things that they do. So let's begin. Amazing bats. Bats are the only mammals that can fly. Bats' wings look like hands, with skin stretched between the long fingers. The scientific name for bats means hand wings. Can you see those fingers that go through right here? There are about 1,000 kinds of bats. They live all around the world. About 45 kinds of bats live in the United States, and that's where we live, in the United States. Check out these bats. Like, this one looks like he has a leaf nose, and this one looks like he has a French bulldog's ears. Some bats live in caves throughout the year. Other bats live in trees and under roofs during the summer and in caves during the winter. They hang upside down on the cave ceiling and come out at night to eat. Look at all those bats flying. Most bats eat insects. A little brown bat can eat about 600 bugs an hour. Woo! That's like you eating 20 pizzas in one night. Oh my. A small colony of bats can eat a ton of insects in 1 year. That's more than 6 million bugs. That's a lot of bugs. Other bats eat ripe fruit and sweet liquid from flowers. Fruit bats are large and have powerful teeth and jaws they use to bite off pieces of food. Fruit bats nest in trees, and most kinds come out only at night to eat. Some bats eat small fish or frogs. A frog-eating bat in Panama swoops down on its victim and carries it off. The bat finds its meal by listening for the sounds of male frogs croaking. Male frogs are the boy frogs. The bat can tell if the frog is the right size by the sound that it makes. Look, that bat's fixing to swoop down and get that frog. Three kinds of vampire bats live in Latin America. Vampire bats pierce the skin of an animal with their fangs and then lap up the blood with their tongues. Now, vampire bats do not attack people. They do not suck people's blood. They do other animals. This is a vampire bat. In winter, where there are fewer fruits, flowers, and flying insects for bats to eat, some bats travel to warmer places. Millions of free-tailed bats spend summers in Texas and New Mexico. In winter, free-tailed bats travel hundreds of miles south to feeding spots in Mexico. Other bats that live in cold places spend the winter in a deep sleep called hibernation. These bats go without eating food for 5 or 6 months. Oh, I could not do that. They live on stored body fat and lose as much as half their body weight during the winter time. This is where they're at. They're in a cave, hanging upside down and hibernating. Many stories about bats are untrue. For example, bats are not blind. Many bats can see very well. Bats also use sound echoes called sonar to locate insects and other foods, which you got to listen to the echolocation song yesterday. That's a really cool song. Some people are afraid of bats, but bats do not attack people, and bats will not get tangled up in your hair. Bats are very clean and groom themselves just like a cat does. However, bats are wild animals, and you should not handle any wild animal, even if they're cute. All bats belong to one or two groups. There's the megabats and the microbats. Megabats are large bats that live in warm climates and eat fruit. Microbats are small insect-eating bats found all over the world, including the United States. The biggest bat in the world is called the gigantic flying fox, from Asia. It weighs more than 2 pounds and has a wingspan of 6 feet. That's probably as tall as your dad. That's wider than you are tall. The flying fox eats other fruit, and it eats a whole lot. Look how long, big this bat is. Wow. One of the smallest and commonest bats in the world is called a pipistrelle. It weighs less than 2 pennies. So if you want to know how much it weighs, put 2 pennies in your hands, and that's how much this little tiny bat weighs. And it's as long as your little pinky finger. So it weighs about 2 pennies, and it's the size of your pinky finger. It's that long. That is a very tiny bat. But this tiny bat can eat 3,000 insects in just one night. 3,000 insects in one night. Woo! The Australian ghost bat can swoop down and carry away a mouse for its food. Do you see that mouse? Oh my goodness. That's a big bat. Bats help keep you free of mosquitoes and other insects that bite. Bats don't harm people. They actually help people by eating all those bad insects. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to turn the camera over this way, and I have made a chart that says Bats World, and it also, give me just a second, there we go. It also wants us to figure out, after reading the story, things that bats are, things that bats have, and things that bats can do. One of the things I didn't tell you is bats actually have fur on their bodies. They have fur. And they're mammals. And I think that was in the story. Mammals are, when they give birth to their babies, the babies look just like little teeny tiny baby bats. They don't come out as eggs, and the bird has to sit on it for it to hatch. And also, bats are not birds. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with things that what bats are. First of all, bats are nocturnal. Nocturnal means that they come out at night. That's when they come out, they eat, and they sleep during the daytime. So nocturnal are nighttime animals. So I'm going to write the word nocturnal. If you want to get your journal out, you can also write these in your journal. And you can draw your own bat. And I bet it would look so much better than mine. They are also shy, but they're also very gentle. I'm going to write the word shy and gentle. What else are they? That's right. We also learned that they're mammals. Mammals are warm-blooded, and they give birth to their babies that look just like them. They're not hatched from eggs. And They're important to us. Do you remember why they're important to us? That's right. They eat, oops. They eat the bad insects. So they're important. And let me see if I can fix that. There we go. So can we think of anything else that they are? All right, let's move over to have, and I'm going to use a different color for have. Let's think about some things that bats have. They have wings. So we're going to write the word wings. They have live babies. When they give birth, they look just like them. So they have live babies. What else? They have fur. That's right. They have fur. Can you think of anything else? They have bones. Yes, they do have bones. Do you remember how many fingers they have on each wing? That's right, they have 4 fingers. So I'm just going to write the word fingers. And then they have a thumb. We could also call that claws. They have claws. Okay. And when they have pups, when they have their babies, they're called pups. So I'm just going to put pups at the bottom. Those are baby bats. They're called pups. Now, let's talk about what the bats can do. Can they fly? Sure. So let's write the word fly. They can fly. What else can they do? They can hang upside down. And they can smell. And they use that great word for the song that you learned yesterday, echolocation. I love that song. There's other things that these bats can do or are or have. These are just a few of some of the things about bats that I want you to know about. So it would be a good idea if you wanted to get your journal out and your adult can pause the video, and you might want to pick maybe one thing that they are, one thing that they have, and one thing that they can do. And maybe draw a picture to go with it. I hope you enjoyed learning about bats today. Until next time, boys and girls, see you!